Hello friends, welcome to my channel. So today I'm reviewing Nettle and Bone by Kingfisher, and this author's work has been talked about a lot among booktubers that I've been watching recently. She has come out with quite a few books in just the last few years, but this is my first time reading any of them, and this is an adult dark fantasy fairy tale horror about a woman named Mara, who is a princess who has no desire to be involved in court politics and basically screws off and goes to live a quiet life in a convent. And she is the third-born daughter, so she's kind of insulated from having to worry about court politics. She has two older sisters who kind of handle that stuff, and her eldest sister marries the prince of the Northern Kingdom to help secure an alliance so they can have protection from the Southern Kingdom. But it turns out that the prince is very violent and abusive, and her elder sister dies, and he marries her other sister after that and is also abusive to her, and Mara realizes that she is her sister's only hope of escaping this horrible situation. No one else is going to do anything about it. There's issues in terms of politics. They have to have this alliance to protect their people and their kingdom. So she goes on this quest to find a way to kill the prince, and trying to do it in a way that they won't suspect who it is, because if they learn who kills this prince, then it could ruin their alliance and all of this stuff. And she can't do this by herself, so she seeks out this witch called the Dust Wife, who gives her these 3 impossible tasks to complete before she agrees to help her, and that kicks off this whole adventure where she meets other kind of kooky characters to join her on her quest. This is a fairly short standalone. My copy is only 240 pages, so it was a quick and satisfying read, and it was also 5 stars. Kingfisher really just knows how to write horror. I know that she has several horror books under her belt already, and I can't wait to read them. This whole book isn't scary, but there are some sequences that just kind of come out of nowhere with how creepy they are, and some of the descriptions of things were just really disturbing. But she's also good at building up atmosphere over the whole book too. But it's also very funny. This book is very funny. The characters are great, and it's just so easy to like them. The Dust Wife is like a grumpy old woman who at the same time cares a lot about the people around her, and one of the characters is a dog made out of bones and wire. He can't talk or even bark because he's just a reanimated dog. It's just bones and wire, but he's really cute and comes along with them on the journey. And actually, if I take a look here, the end pages are really cool. And you can see Mara here and the bone dog here. Really cute artwork, and even the naked book. Oop. Even the naked book here, you can see the bone dog, and just the script of the title on the edges is a little bit different than it is on the dust cover, but this book is just, this book is really pretty. And anyway, the characters are great. I heard someone call this like a cozy fantasy. I don't know if I would quite use the word cozy to describe it, but I do think that charming is a good word for it. I think it's a little too creepy to be cozy, in my opinion, but I mean, I can kind of see where they're coming from. Like I said before, this has a very fairy tale, Grimm's fairy tale kind of vibe. It's very whimsical, and the world feels very ancient and very lived in, even though there isn't actually a lot of world building per se, but there are all these creatures and magical methods and things just baked into the story really well that aren't overly explained, but you just understand that they are part of this world and this story, you know, just like a fairy tale. And Mara herself is not an outspoken or bold main character. And she's an actual adult. She's 30 years old, so it's always nice reading fantasy featuring main characters who aren't teenagers, but she's very quiet, she's very nervous about the quest that she's undertaking, and she would never consider herself a hero or brave. And throughout the book, she has these moments of just like overwhelming self-doubt and despair about how crazy her quest is, how she was really foolish for even thinking that it was possible, but she's accompanied by these companions who, you know, help her to carry on, and it's really nice. One of these companions is a former knight, and there's a very light and innocent slow burn romance that develops between them. And I'm not really considering these spoilers because the companions are talked about in the blurb. You know that one of them is a disgraced ex-knight, a reluctant fairy godmother, and an enigmatic grave witch and her foul familiar. That's what's in the synopsis of the book. So yeah, it's the Dust Wife and her demon-possessed chicken, the knight, and also a fairy godmother that is like what you're thinking a fairy godmother would be, and also a little bit more on top of that. And this was just really fun, and I was impressed by Kingfisher's writing style. I hope that she will become a new favorite author of mine. I can't say that only having read one book, but I'm really hoping so because she's written in several different genres and is doing really well for herself, I think. She's done horror and both adult and YA fantasy, and all of those are genres that I enjoy, so I'm really looking forward to reading more by her. I own her book What Moves the Dead, which I plan to read this year. I may wait until spooky season since it's horror, but I definitely plan to read it this year in any case. And I just get good vibes from her books. I like that several of them are very short. I feel like she could become a new favorite author. It's just one of those things where I feel really good about it, and I'm excited to read more by her. So yeah, this was excellent. 5 out of 5 stars. Definitely recommend. I hope you have a great day or night whenever you're watching this, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!